Welcome back to McFly Guitars and Stuff. Today we're going to set up this Fender Mod Shop guitar and we're going to see what it needs and just how good of a guitar it is, how good of a guitar Fender will sell you for a couple. It's got to be 2,000 bucks, right? Anyway, before we get started, thanks. Let's go. Okay, capo the first fret, and let's see what the relief is. I'm having a focus issue today. Okay, we'll go to the first string. Come on. Man, this is annoying. Okay, that's perfect. Wow, really? That high? Why is it so stinking high? $2,000 guitar. I'm gonna measure this and see where it's at. Wow, I do mine at 11 thousandths, and the closest here was 17. 22. So even at $2,000, they're still not making it play as good as it could play. Okay, you know what we're going to do? We're going to check out these frets and see how well the frets are put in. Okay, so at a couple grand, you're still going to have high frets on a Fender. 9 high frets. The lowest I've recorded is a Guild Jet 90 Starfire with 3 and a 1993 Made in Mexico Stratocaster Standard with 3. So, anyway, let's move on. All right, let's check the intonation. All right, now let's see what it is. Good. A little bit off. Off on the A too. So the top 3 are intonated, but the bottom 3 are not. What do you want? It's 2,000 bucks. We can't intonate it perfectly for you. All right. Well, I'm going to intonate it perfectly. You know, I didn't want to have to deal with I didn't think I would have to deal with, well, I was hoping I didn't have to deal with high frets, but you know what? I'm putting this on my reverb, and whoever buys it, I want it to be worth every penny they're going to pay, because I'm not giving this away. So I'm going to ditch the strings. I've got to take the trem out, fix this crazy thing. I have to deal with that. I'm going to deal with the high frets. I'll polish the frets. It's just a $2,000 guitar. And then, of course, I've got to cut the nut. It's just like, I don't care that much about this name anymore. It doesn't mean that much to me. You know what it means? A company that just doesn't give a crap about sending out guitars that play perfectly. They don't care. They don't care. Why should a guitar like this have 9 high frets when a 92 Mexican Strat that I bought a while back only has 3? It's frustrating. So I'm going to do what Fender can't do, even though they've been at it for 60 years. I'm going to make this thing play good. because it's good. You know, it's going to have my name on it when it goes on my reverb, and the action's got to go lower than this. Come on, the E string buzzes the whole way. It should be going that low, and the E string shouldn't be fretting out like crazy. It's annoying. But I guess I'm just going to have to stop whining and get to it. Here we go. All right, I just wanted to stop the high speed and just show you. I usually use this, but on this guitar, I'm not. I don't want to take even the remote chance of scratching it. Every single tuner is loose. Everyone. I don't know how you can, I just don't get it. This guitar, it's beautiful. I know it's going to be awesome when I'm done, but all this I got to do? That's crazy. All right, back to the high speed. Okay, now if you look at the frets, you see how the tape comes up on the side? That's what I try to do. I want the tape to come up the side of the fret a little bit. And at the end, what I do is I take a guitar pick and I push it down really good. Yeah, here's our high frets. Granted, this is a $2,000 Fender. They've been doing this 60 years. So I'm going to do each fret individually using the rocker, and you got to keep checking. You don't want to go too low. You want them all to be the same. So this is a tedious part of this. You thought the masking was tedious. So this is tedious. Then I go right into the dressing them all and all that and polishing. It's going to play like a quality guitar when I'm done. I know, don't think I hate Fenders. I don't. I'm just annoyed at this lack of, you know, if you ever watch factory guitar factories, you watch the fretting part. It's like they just rush through it. And I've said it in a couple of my other videos. Somebody should just tap the frets all in, just enough to hold them in place, and then there should be a big call that covers all the frets at once with hydraulic force, holds the frets in for like 2 minutes. With a good deal of pressure, I bet you wouldn't get this. You wouldn't get this. If somebody's just hammering them in really quick, it's just not working. It's not working, Fender. Anyway, let me stop whining and get to it. 33 years with this beautiful woman and a lot of hours with this beautiful Strat. Okay, you see I went up to 3,000 and you mothers, I'm going to use the mother's polish like I always do, and I just do it by hand because they're pretty polished now, up to 3,000. And then I can start tackling the other issues like the trem. I want to get the trem fixed. Well, that has to go next because then I want to do another thing that Fender couldn't seem to do. 11 thousandths of an inch right there. None of this 22,000. That's twice as much as it should be. But anyway, my hand's about to fall off after all that. So now I'm going to push it even farther with the mothers. For you mother lovers. So here we go. Haven't you seen people just pour that stuff all up the fretboard, right on the frets? I'm the only guy that tries to keep it off the frets. Why would I want some kind of oil to get on the strings? I don't. That's why I go through extra trouble. And these are old. Look at the date on here. 89. These were, my father had a here, I'll show you. He had a TV service, and these I got from him. They're to clean the heads of a VCR, and they work really good. I mean, these things are old. I've been using them for years. Yeah, I don't know. You know what? If you're gonna do something, do it right. Don't get crap on the frets. Speaking of frets, look at those babies. Oh, shiny. Yeah, these lights come in really, I just can't believe how much they help me see things. Like when you're, trying to cut the nut and you're measuring on the first fret, moving these around, you can really see your feeler gauge. Anyway, this thing's it's going to be the way it should have been when I'm done with it. Fender. What are you doing, Fender? Somebody's going to have an awesome guitar. That's quite the finish, isn't it? Look at that finish. Wow. I don't know if you can see this. It might be hard to see. Oh, you can feel the spring action there. I like the G&L tremolo arm. That's perfection. This is ridiculous. You got to take it apart, take the strings off to set it up or adjust it or to fix it. I think there's a little Teflon piece behind it. So let me stick them in. Don't lose it, McFly, you bojo. All right, now getting tight there. It still rocks. Tighten this one. Still wobbly. The old wobbly Fender trem. Oh, I think it's just about gone there. Now can I get it out? It's not, I don't think it's wobbling like that. All right, so this is what I'm going to do. I'll take this out. Back this out. Oh, snap. Yeah, this is, I don't like this. All right, now I'll take the thread locker. I'll put it on the threads here. My camera keeps shutting off. All right, here we go. We know this one's got to go in a lot. This one too. If it was just machined better, maybe you wouldn't need two of them. Okay, that's still shaking, not stirred. It's still wobbling. Oh, maybe I had it put in too far. Oh, this is a nightmare, Fender. Another Fender nightmare. I mean, it's got to be right, because once you put it in, you get what you get. It still rocks a little bit. How tight do I gotta? That one's in there a lot. That one. I feel a tiny bit of wobble still. I don't know. Is that going to go past the threads? I'm afraid. And it kind of doesn't. Ooh. No, now it doesn't want to go in. Oh, there it goes. This setup sucks. This is a terrible setup, Fender. No, it's wobbling again. Yikes. It's probably as good as it's going to get. I feel a tiny bit of. I hate that. I hate that. It's like the regular threaded ones are terrible. This one isn't much better. I think it's probably just as bad because you got to take the guitar apart. Oh man, it's hard to get in. And then it's got to be right in that groove. Okay. So I think that's as tight as I want to go. That's pretty good. Now, what if we take some graphite, pour a little graphite in there. Down you go, lad. Man, that's stiff. But it's set about perfect. I'm going to pour some graphite right in there. The old powdered graphite. It's not just for locksmiths. You know, one thing about if you ever use powdered graphite, you got to be careful because if you get it like on some kind of cloth, it's hard to. The best thing to do is just go and blow it off. Okay, what do we got here? Okay, I think that's as good as this is going to get. Okay, that's it. It's tight in there. If you don't have those screws tight, then there must be some plastic or nylon insert. Then it's wobbly. That's why I just keep taking it in and out. I want to make sure I don't want to do this again. Okay, that's about as good as it's going to get. All right, I think this is done. So, I got the intonation set. I got the action set. It doesn't fret out. Here's where our action is. And, of course, it's 11 thousandths there like I always have it. And it is ready to go. The trem only goes down. So, the last thing I have to do is put a little graphite in these slots. And she should be good to go. Came out so good. Came out so good. And it's just a shame that it wasn't like this when it left the factory. I mean, it takes time to fine-tune things. I mean, I don't know. The lack of finesse from Fender I just think it's terrible. I mean, because now this guitar is awesome. It wasn't so awesome when I got it. You know, and I think that was the first set of strings it ever had. I think it was barely played. I mean, you don't see a bunch of scratches on the pick guard. It's really super clean. Now all those high frets are all taken care of. Beautiful guitar. So, hey, thank you for stopping by. You can always hit that thumbs up and subscribe. It doesn't cost you a penny. And I appreciate it. I really do. And I'll see you next time. Take care, everybody. 33 years. I don't know how I got this woman, but I'm glad I did.